What up? Okay, so I was watching my video talking about this because it's a very important topic for me personally. I find it important, at least, whether or not it's actually important. Looks like I didn't. I guess I just. It's hard to see. Subterranean structure boundary. So this one I was thinking about. And I said in my previous videos about this that I think maybe this is like a drainage point. That the energy just like propagated downward more so around to some sort of like base. Which I think is maybe there because I noticed that this. Let me bring this up. Here's. I know, guys. I was kind of thinking maybe this thing supports a platform that maybe is more here, and this is maybe supporting the platform of Gujarat, India, even. Like there. Like here, maybe is that like a hexagonal center? Right here. Like right there-ish. A pentagon-ish thing, maybe. Because for sure, like everything else is currents, so this is probably some boundary of currents like coming this way that just keep going, and they just create a line here. And then there's probably currents. This thing's rotating. This is coming this way, causing a vortex here. So it's probably causing a current here, which is probably why this is more rounded, actually. It's not actually as straight as this side. I hadn't pointed it out yet. I was kind of noticing it, but not really sure what to think about it. Interestingly, there's another one here, maybe related to Girnar, of like a different material. Maybe this is like a chakra counter to Girnar. Like Girnar is like the positive. This is the separator. This is the anode, cathode, anode. In relative terms, with a separator of this boundary that flowed between right here. So the Mount Girnar. Maybe, I wonder if it's like there. Maybe its base is more like eye shaped, like I don't know. All I know is its angle slopes at 60 degrees pretty much, and it goes out to a 60-kilometer radius, which is about to here, or diameter, which is about to here. But in terms of like the exact shape of it, I haven't seen any papers on it. Well, that's all I know, so I'm kind of just figuring it kind of is crystalline, is kind of my thoughts, but maybe it's more shaped by the terrain than I realize. Like, all things are relative, maybe even though it's crystalline, like, it's really doesn't look that crystalline, like, the further I zoom in, like, at some point, there's no... Sure, there's like geometries going on. Obviously, we can't see it very well when it's warped. But like, the further we zoom out, the more we can kind of pick up on some like odd, like way to geometry. Geometries like this is parallel to this, is parallel to this, is parallel to this. 120 degrees plus this thing here that like connects out to this here twice. And then it creates these things, but let's look around Mount Girnar. My thoughts are these are energy flows into it that probably branch out a little bit at the end, finger out to make several points of contact, to then exchange a current through many points of contact and build like a. Because this thing is rotating. Like this here is like a drain, pretty much. That's probably a good way to put it. Like the entire energy flow of maybe the ether into the earth is draining through this conduit of this drain here that is at the intersection of the most proximal boundaries to this storm that's passing. So like it's when it's up here, it's going directly into the polygon that has the puncture hole. But once it passes this boundary here into this polygon, it starts to like connect across them by drawing up Mount Girnar. So I'm thinking this current's coming across and colliding with this current and this current in a way that's kind of creating this like more solid boundary. But interestingly, if we look like the way these currents as they approach this begin to spread out like water would, and then they like reach the boundary and then they flood through like breakpoints. And then they continue to here, down here. This actually interesting. I wonder if right here is all a boundary. Like right here, right here is a boundary. Let's draw this. Baby, baby. Pardon me. Sometimes I forget where I am. Oh, Lord. I can't stop it. Can't stop, won't stop. Oh, maybe I will. I don't know. I'm down to chill if we're good. Let's maybe even say 24. Okay. We drawing. We got ourselves pencil. Let's make it blue because it is kind of water-like. Okay. So we know the current's boundary is essentially here. This line is like through the two. Anything that goes like to the side here is pretty much like brought this way. And to this side, it looks like it's brought along the polygon boundaries there. Possibly even wrapping in like this. From that side. So let's go over here. I guess I didn't quite get the whole region that I wanted. I'm like, that's good. I wanted this too. Really. Let's do this. Okay, maybe there. I'm not sure if I can just easily merge these two layers. Canvas size, heights. Let's just add some height, like 5 for now. Move that down to there just to get the pardon me, Google. Love you guys. Appreciate it. And then paste this guy. But definitely under. I guess I need it like there. Maybe not under then. Did I not? It's probably like there-ish and just needs resized. What is this one's width? 24. I'd say same width. Same width for this guy. Didn't do it. Oh. Okay, maybe try putting it on top after all. It's probably there. Yeah, there's Girnar. Whatever, let's just undo everything I just did. Up to the point, of course. Okay. Back to square one. We just know there's that boundary there. We'll just draw it here, like here. Let's analyze it real quick from just here. So this is coming over and just like definitely getting stuck here and like probably flowing like a water flow this way around it. And then I guess down this track, just right down this track. Where it does two things, I guess. It either goes straight or divides this way. Looks like this might be a tab, like even right there, might be like one of the tab connection points. And this might be a tab, and that looks like maybe a tab connection point, or that. To like energetically bond the polygons that were there, like they're there, but this energy flows along the boundary of them. It's not enough current to physically separate them because there's a pressure from the other sides that just allows the current to flow. So they're just there, but then we can see the outline of the boundary of the polygons, of smaller polygons that this larger polygon is a component of, which is a component of a larger polygon, etc., and which are each composed of even smaller polygons. So for sure, let's get some for sure lines in. This one's for sure going this way and through here, just into Girnar. There is for sure. Okay, we might even get some current flows to really help us along the the way that it's rotating thing going on. That might be interesting because this looks like it's coming in opposite, maybe equal but opposite, and then this one's perhaps splitting from like this is causing a vortex here, so it's splitting around it. and just feeding into it by other channels, I guess. This also goes down like this. Looks like it's kind of going over here a lot, just kind of piling along this polygon. This comes over here. It's probably hitting a, like, I'm thinking, which way? Yeah, clockwise creates. So let's look at Girnar a little bit closer. Girnar has two. Here's a spiral right down here. So there's a boundary here. And then here's a spiral. And here's a spiral. Which is why this is like off center up here, I believe. Most detectable there because this is obviously a huge mass. So it's really like heat that's spiraling more so through the material here. Okay, so this spiral though, oops, way too big. Let's just say 2. Let's give it another color since I put that boundary. Something light. It spirals in, spirals in, spirals in, spirals in. Then it kind of goes along it. Okay. Maybe there, sure. Maybe there. That's probably going on in some. Okay, we got a solid spiral, and then we got this one here. I don't know exactly how to draw this. Let's just draw it as a inward spiral, like maybe like that, just of kind of that kind of thing. Where maybe it kind of has interesting. We might be able to unlock some things. Okay, we're getting Girnar spiraled in on. Okay, that was a little creepy. Dear Lord. Okay, I guess I'm kind of being a fuck. Oh my god, the thoughts are emerging there. I'm like, oh. Sorry about everything, guys. I hope you can forgive me if I offend. If I don't offend and, you know, everything is actually cool, that would be good. Okay, let's get a better size for this one. 10 again. 10 seems pretty solid. So this triangle over here is getting like pushed into by here, plus the boundary here, so I didn't draw it very well, but this structure here has this current flowing around it. What was I just thinking? Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm sorry, but I'm like, we are getting somewhere. So let's just keep drawing currents out here. This one goes here, so this goes here. This goes here. This goes. This looks like it goes this way. Interesting. Or maybe is it? I mean, it's branching. It probably is. It's branching. Essentially, we can just assume it's going the way where it branches towards. So this is probably going this way. It's probably just creating like maybe I'll draw a boundary here. Some kind of boundary color. Let's pick maybe this. Kind of draw it dotted-ish. It's also probably like a place where currents build and then just create like pressure away from the. Maybe there? I don't know. I'm like, what's in my mouth? Oh yeah, my hair is really long now. I try to pull my hair out, it's still attached to my head. Oh. Okay. Let's draw this one. So down below this one is a, I guess that even. Oh Lord. Is this boundary. So it looks like this deflects a current down here, which carves a space between the actual polygon wall and this block where current flowed, maybe, which then looks like it kind of radiated out this way. Some reason, like maybe it hit some hard thing here-ish, and kind of just started rippling out into this current, creating this like region. Okay, let's go back. I have that color, so maybe just a little more here. Sure. Okay. Maybe I can kind of just dot it here because it's just creating a bit of it. Okay. Let's block this one off just because it looks interesting. Okay. What do we got? We now have that. Okay, so this though, this is what I'm thinking, is this must be coming this way. This way. This way. This way. This way. Yes. This way. This way. So pretty much anything that doesn't quite make it here ultimately kind of propagates that way, it looks like. Let's just give a look at the map and make sure it's generally like single to many propagation. Like it looks like it at least is a single up here, and then looks like it's branching out probably. And yeah, not only branching out, it's branching out and then like fingering these veins into specific channels. Is that a road? It must be on top of it. I'm like, it's just a matter of time before I'm pointing to, if I haven't already, to like really obvious, just like straight up man-made features, as if, oh, look how crazy this is. Wow, it's so. That's interesting though, right there. Okay, okay. Back to here. So we are actually. Let's look over here, past that little body of water here. This thing, so it's definitely coming, doing the thing where it branches out spontaneously and then moves forward. And then it comes over here. It looks like, although that's really like colliding with that. Like where, like this looks like right here, just inside of it. Like this is going this way, moving out into like a widespread coming from here. This is going, branching outward and then connecting to Girnar. So that's probably a good way to see, like, is it connecting to Girnar? If not, then it's probably going to some other sink. Okay, so this comes here, here. So this one's definitely connected. But this looks like the resistance this is meeting. Okay, interesting. So this channel comes this way and meets resistance from this way, I guess. That then causes it to branch off this way, while also creating like a convective, like outward eddy kind of motions on both sides to then spread this into a larger body of a depression where water can recede into. So this looks like it's kind of moving away from Girnar at this point, and more towards this sink. So there's probably a separation somewhere related to this. Let's just say here, to like this finger point here. Maybe here even. Okay, let's draw this. Wait, why did I draw this out? This must be doing a similar thing where it's just a pool of water here that's creating kind of a boundary, so some flow. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's look close. We need a close look to really get. What is going on here? That's right. This is exiting, so maybe it's actually. Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's inappropriate to assume that it's just branching out. Maybe once it approaches the sink, it begins to like reconverge. So maybe I need to be a little more thoughtful on this than I just was being. Like I think that generally the like motion that there is a current here is pretty. I feel that's pretty solidly established by this thing and this down this way, which then like definitely is involved in this like circular shape here and the surrounding shapes that then like begin to emanate into this like resistance and this resistance and just shape this region while piling more material at certain locations, kind of like a maybe an interference pattern or something else. I don't know. I was wondering if there's like a double slit experiment, perfect example of a double slit experiment on Earth. Like there's a photoelectric effect. There's so many things. Like what if there's a double slit experiment? That would be great. There's no way. There's no way. So here's a slit. And here's a slit. I wonder. I don't know. uh, or maybe here's a slit. Who knows? Maybe not here, but maybe there's somewhere that is more representative, or multiple places, and at some point we find like a trend, and then can find like the subtleties and see that there's many more that are more like the trend. Maybe I'm not very good at noticing trends of some trends that maybe I'm not wanting to notice because of personal biases, maybe. Because I don't know what's happening, so I'm just like, obviously, I'm awesome. Oh my god. Let's just do that. For this one, I feel confident is just for sure that. This one, I think maybe was not. Because this is going this way. We can say this is going this way. Like, if there's anything we're going to say with, like, at least a to move forward from and begin to draw the currents, like, this is probably one of the better ones, is that there was a current this way. Because when we also have, where am I? This here. It's kind of suggestive that it, like, dug down into this region. Probably even like visible, maybe over here somewhere. Maybe it's involved in this. Maybe. This flow, just right into it. This flow. I don't know if I did this one. Like, there's definitely a flow this way. Like, this is coming in, and it's just kind of stalling in this area a lot. So some of it's going this way, like a lot of the current's going this way, but it's definitely like going this way. It almost looks like a current now. Like all this just looks like the debris of a current. The brown, like the more brown it is, and then this is like piles where it piled up underneath the surface low, but like this is the result of underneath the surface currents. Here's also some sort of circular region with like node things. I don't know if that's what cool. This world is so cool. I hope we can save it and live in it for a long time. and everyone in it. That's the key. I mean, not just the world. So the currents are definitely coming here. We can maybe go by boundaries to get a better idea. Like there's gotta be currents cutting across this way generally that are involved in this boundary. And this. Just across here. Across here. It's like it started to break off another polygon here. Or something. By just making pores along it. I got enough pores where like over time it could really have, with enough energy it could have actually separated. Looks like there's a bunch of interesting. These things seem related to also like nova centers in some way. I think that might be one. Okay, let's just try to draw the current. I'm feeling it. I believe. Maybe I should have just made a bigger map. Do I start again? I almost need to do this map. It's really not that good detail. Even though it's almost 3,000 pixels by 2,500 pixels. I don't know. Where was I? Okay. So we can probably say though here, let's really look at that little spot here. If there's this and this, plus a current coming in here, I think because there's a vortex here and currents coming in here, which are not quite like the actual mountain peak is not at the center between the hexagonal points. It's actually tangentially positioned. and oh my and it's like a mound, so there must have been like more of a vortex, like a localized, focused here, I guess. Maybe this is even related to, no. No. I'm just wondering if this could have like somehow been the all of the vortex that was occurring. I don't think that makes sense. The dendrite is feeding in, tapping in. Just finger chakra points, tapping in and draining through it, causing a swelling of the material to basically produce a mountain as like energetic flows transform the atoms, I would say. I'm pretty sure that's happening. Although the base materials are not necessarily just like a absolute like stem cell base material. I think in the mantle they are basically that, like a base material that can make anything. But I'm thinking if there's a current cutting like this, causing this vortex, that it also just continues. And just hits resistance. So where it hits resistance, it just carves a path. Like here, right here. Is this man-made? What is this? It's a road. There it is. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did the road thing. I knew I would do it. It was just a matter of time. Pretty much I don't know how exactly. It's pretty built up. There's a lot going on here on top of it to tell what the underlying features were like. Exactly. This looks like currents are maybe coming in. Maybe. Probably coming in here. This is definitely coming in there. Right in there. And then it comes into the vortex. Isn't it crazy? Like I'm looking at it backwards, like following like energetic currents that then like look at it backwards. Like, wait, isn't that the way the water is flowing? Wait a minute. Some of these times are like, wait, okay, what is up? So I'm saying there's a vortex here. So this has got to be causing a boundary. Did I mess up how I do this? How this should be? This one coming across. Maybe that's an outlet. I just assumed that it had like maybe this is actually feeding back. Tapped in. It's tapped in here, but then it feeds back through here to create like a cycle, to allow like a circuit to be complete so it can just like flow through the circuit. That makes sense, maybe. So maybe this is that makes sense, maybe. I think it makes sense. I'm kind of leaning towards that makes sense. To a point where maybe that would explain why this here is going on. Like it's hitting the resistance of current here that's flowing across this way. Whereas these ones are hitting resistance of current flowing this way. Like the galaxy arms. Let's draw some galaxy arms. This might go in? I'm not sure. But it looks like it kind of goes there. I'm just wondering if there's... Okay, so let's draw this with the arrows. Okay. So this blue line's good. Cool. Okay. Now, let's keep going on currents then. So it looks like we can just kind of say this goes around here and just generally goes in at some point. This is a little odd. It could just be that that's kind of like an escape velocity zone. Like anything that goes here kind of just goes back to this current. Okay, that looks pretty solid. Okay. So that means there's just currents kind of flowing this way. Let's just assume these are kind of flowing like this. This, just like this. And then hitting boundaries over here. Like both directions. I guess here it's like bouncing around too. The energy. As it propagated. Let's see if that makes sense in terms of anything about the features there. This region compared to this region, essentially. Where there's this boundary nearby and where there's not quite the boundary nearby. It's still Girnar, but this I think is more of a boundary energetically in this thing's direction at least. Looks like there are curved segments, but they're mostly pretty straight. It just bounces through this channel. And it's coming, this current for sure is substantial because it's causing this, which is then kind of overwhelming this here, probably just creating a bit of a freeze here. Like it's just able to just hang out here. It's not too chaotic to create like a bunch of features, but it's enough mass to just create the presence of some variation other than like here. Like it doesn't look like there's quite as much stuff underneath this as over here. That looks like a shallogram. Let's see, what was I doing over here? Let's find this. I guess it had a boundary. Probably around here, probably. I mean, it looks like it's got a channel here going on. So it has some outlets here in this direction, maybe. Although, is this energy coming this way? I feel like the energy is still coming this way. It's still coming this way, really. This here, okay, that's alright. This is still coming across. It's all coming across to build this current along that edge. Some of getting stopped building piles and so on, but it's generally cutting across and also out into the ocean, into probably, where was I? Here. Especially this drainage point might have something of, like that was a little further south on Oman. Maybe like over here in this region. Maybe that's got something to do with this. Here. Versus this being the other location. I'd say there's a good possibility. That also leads, it looks like, to the East African Rift Zone. Which cuts down here in a double helix shape. Let's look over here a bit. So this is for sure doing one. Let's see, did I draw that? This is for sure rippling out this way to create that hexagon boundary. I'll just draw it even though it's not quite in the position. Pretend it's there. Like it's got a circular region and then a more straight segment of the side. I keep calling it hexagon, whatever it is. And this here, that's what I was trying to draw. Does it reach it? Maybe I do reach it, because I think I was seeing that, maybe. It's probably close enough. I don't think I see that, though. It would have been nice to do maybe up to here in hindsight. I almost need at least 4 images combined just of Gujarat. Maybe even like 8, 9, 9, do 3, 3, 3, make a huge image, and then do this over top it. Then I can have some resolution. I'm just having some issues with that side of things. Started too quick, got excited, like, ooh. Yeah, so this here ramps this way and comes this way. We can kind of just say it goes that way and up this way. So let me just draw it like that. This stuff I'll just draw like that, whatever. Look at that chain reaction. Oh my god. I feel like that's where it gets smaller. That is like a chain reaction maybe, and it even has this here. I'm gonna take all that out because I don't know if that was actually. Let me look at it. Let me look in a little closer. Where was that? That was here. It's hard to say because it's so built up. If this like looks like that because it's so built up, or if it would also look like that anyway because it was where a lot of like currents. Like, did you guys build like this? This is coming this way, and I guess just going around here. But at the same time, it's like, maybe it's actually creating a boundary like here. Straight there. I do kind of see something there. Where essentially these currents come out here, all the way out here maybe, and flow over this way. There's so much going on. I just want to make sure I got this in a reasonable position, because these currents are complex. They look like they're like intermingling a lot. Like this is going this way, hitting resistance coming from this way. So there's a current coming this way here. But it's... Didn't I draw it the other way? How did I come to that conclusion? Oh, Lord. Okay. I keep looking at that other map, but I think these are currents more so on the actual surface of the Earth that are more visible on the surface. Wonder if these are like chakras. This current is very confusing. Maybe, wait, let me, now I remember why I was saying that. Because this boundary is definitely draining here. Okay, So it must just branch this way. Like this goes this way, but then it branches this way. And this way, this way, this way. But it's still going this way, just branching off this way to fill this region. Because I guess this is more so going this way. So this is able to fill the more proximal region. While this just goes this way. Okay. That's good still. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're good still. These are go. Oh. Let's get rid of this. It'll take a while, but what's that? Sorry, I don't actually edit my videos, so you gotta watch me do this. Oh, look at that! It's a piece of candy. Oh, it looks like I am unable to go further. Okay, I guess we got the. We're just gonna keep those for like reminder that maybe there's some chain reaction thing in that row that just gets smaller down here to maybe even to that thing. Okay, so this current though is coming here, here. It may be, let's look around this real close, that the only like really inlet is like this region and also this path. Like for sure they tap in like here. This is tapping in. This is tapping in and it's coming from over here, tapping in there. This is coming in and tapping in there. And also through there to the actual mass of Girnar. At some point, they probably start to just kind of not. Maybe this is indicative of like a boundary of something. No, this is at a good spot. Maybe this is just fills up as it fills energy this way. And this, these are just like, and this. Just like energy storage locations along the way as it moves the energy down the transport chain. This comes across. This region is just kind of like sideways energies like this, it looks like now that I'm looking at it. They're very much not like branching as much, becoming more just like parallel. Let's just say it's kind of like a transition zone. Also, I'll draw it like purposely a little more straight than it actually is. Okay, then maybe do this. People are like, stop it. Okay, and then we got this coming this way, let's say. Okay. Now, what is going on in this region? Maybe it's creating like a side vortex here. Totally is. With two nodes of positive, negative. Good thing I circled one of them. Let's just do it like this. I might go down further. Let's look. Probably to here. But maybe here. At this point, it's branching. It's able to branch in these ones. This is kind of extending outward. This maybe, I'll just draw it there. Whatever, let's say that was it. It just wraps around. And then has like a... positive node. And a minus node. I want to say this right here. Honestly, I was kind of probably not that great at circling it. That's maybe there. I'll just put it more like in the like center of that region, I guess. Okay. Go back to this. Let's draw this as sort of a enclosed system. That's a good way to put it. It's just an enclosed system. Anything coming in here just kind of loops around. And then this is part of Girnar, maybe? This here is part of Girnar. Like, even though it's not, like, radiating from it, like here. Like, it's connected energetically in a way where it's like a galactic arm of it. So let's draw it like that. Let's draw it like that. Maybe that's just like a mass that kind of built up between the currents, pretty much. Should this be going this way? I'm not. No, this way, right? Am I? I might not have. This one. Yes, so the spiral's going this way, so it should be trailing. Oh, this is like extending out into that more like... It's just extending out. Interesting. Because it's... These are probably not actually like rotating, but they're current flows, but this one's kind of lodged. It's a little odd. When these don't seem to be lodged per se. Let's see. What can we fill in this region with? This just looks like a little system almost. It's really not that connected. Like it connects to the channel that goes out, but it doesn't really like connects to that. Not in any like reasonable way that makes it anything but like it's just like a system on its own. Like it looks like a system on its own that has a bond here to Girnar. Maybe like an electron. There's an electron, there's an electron, there's an electron, there's an electron, there's an electron. I don't know. These go up this way. Whoa. That's like not random. Over here too, what? And to here. This like goes up this channel, up here. I wonder if this connects back to the chakra. These chakras of this shallogram segment goes through that one. Like it does seem like it. The main current goes there, but it's got some kind of something that's probably not actually connected there. It's probably not connected there. Okay, okay. It's like, is that because of the chakra? That's interesting. That's probably the epicenter of one of those circles that has little stars and it's a galaxy. It's like a globular cluster. Oh my god. The parallels. Okay. Let's just say this little guy is a little system too, then. He seems to be a little system here. Deep. Little arms like a star. Or atom bonds. Which probably all bonds are, is just like paths for currents to flow. I mean, that really seems to be what their Earth is pointing to if we look at it from that angle. Where, like, systems as large as this can be atoms. Or galaxies. Does this make sense? What do they say? Like, if there ain't nothing better, then I guess it's kind of like about science. Well, until something else is better comes around, well, same.